Do you understand now? I was not exaggerating about how bad tap water is. Told you guys, it wrecks your skin. But the genetics, bro. He's got great skin because of his genetics, bro. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Seriously? Like, everybody. Yeah. It's genetics, bro. His skin's really good because of genetics, bro. I can tell you guys, I had no shower filter. It was terrible. My skin looked so bad. I was so itchy. I was, the synthetic. I put terrible detergent on the bed sheets. So you guys saw how it looked. Pretty bad. I'm gonna show you guys how we look in current status, live. Boom, no marks on the back. But what do I know? I'm just split testing. Split testing your way into epicness. So yeah, guys, tap water, terrible for you. First thing you want to invest in is a shower filter. Also, I didn't drink a lot of water today. I'm kind of like fasting. Got some apple cider vinegar, lime. So I'm going to go on a live real quick and tell you guys, it's not really about genetics, right? When it comes to having healthy skin, a lot of it has to do with the environment, what we're subjecting ourselves to. And as you can tell from the footage, it gets pretty bad, and it only takes a few months, right? You can also have mold, you can have allergic reactions, synthetic clothing, all the crap that you're intaking, right? And when you're sweating and you're perspiring and it's rubbing against the synthetic materials, that's what causes a lot of irritation. Then you have all the dead cells and people don't clean their sheets. Like, there's a lot of things that are basic that if you really nail down, you'll have pretty healthy skin. How's everyone doing? What can you do for hair loss? I started losing a lot of hair when I got depressed, but before as well. But I was on a vegan diet, right? But it was mainly more carbohydrate based. And I definitely started losing a lot of hair. But a lot of it is what I said, it's all the heavy metals, all the toxins, all the stuff that come from out of people, that are injected into people, that people deaminate. All that's in the water supply, right? And you're absorbing everything. So you kind of want to like mitigate that risk, in my opinion. And as you can see, it's only habits, right? Which habits are bad? They're not leading to a conducive, healthy lifestyle. So let's say you're a young kid in India, right? And you live in a terrible environment, right? You don't have shower filters, you're using super cheap shampoo, you're using all these things are going to play a huge role, right? In you looking the way you look, in terms of how you feel, in terms of how you look. And then you have people with the same amount of money, in terms of not a lot or no money at all, in the jungle, right? And they look fantastic, some of them. Well, it's tapping into natural environments, right? Because instead of spending tons of money on quote unquote for you guys, tons of money on synthetic crap, you could invest in a shower filter, right? Like, okay, this is the shower filter where I'm going to be getting my water, right? And when you come in contact with water, like, you have to eliminate everything. And what people don't realize is different cities have different toxicity in terms of EMF, in terms of radiation, in terms of heavy metals in the water supply, based on the environment around them. If there's juggernauts in terms of big companies, right? Because big companies in terms of like residue and waste, all that has to go somewhere. And the water supply in that area is going to be corrupted, in my opinion. Water supply in Switzerland is completely different than the water supply in New York. So, where do you live? All these things are going to play a crucial role, right? Like, so if you're a guy, right? You want to switch things around, and you're doing the stereotypical gym bro, right? Like, you wake up, you eat oatmeal, peanut butter, I don't know, bananas, you do your protein shake with tons of crap in it. You feel terrible, lethargic, you're going to go do some cardio, all right? We're going to go kill some cardio, all right? You feel terrible, you hurt, you ache. Then you go sit at your job. Sedentary position, blah, 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 hours. Then you go and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do a bench press, everything in a sedentary position, right? And then you go back home, you sit, you eat a lot of food, and then you go to sleep. That's not conducive to healthy lifestyle. You have to be moving all the time. It's like movement. Learning how not to eat food, right? How you can look younger. The reason I look younger than a lot of people is because I fast a lot. And the beautiful thing is once you're metabolically flexible, you can tap into fat and you start fasting. It's like awesome because you're like, oh, I'm not wasting time thinking about food and stuffing my face, right? Because everybody's like, oh, I know people, bro. It's like they talk about what they're gonna eat for lunch and dinner for the next day. And dude, it's all about food. And don't get me wrong, like I like eating good food. I remember back when I was like in the struggle, it was just like rice, eggs, what else? And then when I started getting more money, I started eating all the crap. That was the truth when I started making a little bit more. Because you start eating all the hyper-palatable foods. In Argentina, we don't have that. Like now we do, but where I was living, it wasn't as bad. So I definitely got out of shape. Drank a lot of tap water for many years, many decades. Got wrecked. Opinions on sea moss and lion's mane, both fantastic. Sea moss, great, because it has most of the minerals that we're comprised of. You can be in a fasted state, put it in your water, put it in your juice, put it in your smoothie. If you're gonna do like a food fast and just do liquids, right? And it will give you, like, you'll look better. You'll have a more youthful complexion for sure. I'm older now chronologically, but I look younger now than I did when I was younger chronologically. So yeah, that's why I don't like, it's like whatever, dude. Just like try to be healthy and you'll look younger. So sea moss and then lion's mane, great for cognition. I do lion's mane a lot. I do a lot of my mushrooms in terms of tinctures. So lion's mane, reishi, cordyceps. Yeah, I'll do it in a tincture in the morning, and I definitely notice a difference in terms of cognition. Is it good to fast for 5 days straight? I would suggest starting with intermittent fasting and then progressive overload. Maybe do like a 1 day fast, a 2 day fast, and then stack it with like, okay, I'm gonna do some juices if I feel really bad, or I'm gonna do some sparkling water, or I'm gonna break my fast with like some bone broth, and then you kind of test it out and see how you feel. And then it's progressive overload, right? Like you got a progressive overload into fasting. I think fasting can be very dangerous for people that live a very terrible lifestyle, right? A lot of hyperpalatable foods, a lot of sugar, frequently over many years, and then they cut that, right? They cut that and the body starts freaking out, the mind starts freaking out, right? And that's why they go 1 day, 2 days, and they have to end up in the hospital. It's like that, yeah, I'm saying. Because before if you told me, yo Nate, you're gonna fast till like 11 a.m., I'd been like, dude, are you kidding? I gotta eat my Captain Crunch. What's your necklace? EMF necklace. You can go to Anime Shreds. I posted a link on it. How to stop overeating? It's all about substitution. So the first innate action you have to do is realize that you're eating a lot of food. So instead of changing the substrate of energy that you're addicted to, which is carbohydrates, from a hyperpalatable source, you're going to switch it from a hyperpalatable source to a normal source. So if you're eating chips all the time, Pringles and everything, you're going to go to, okay, I'm going to eat tons of chips, air fryers made at home. You can put seasoning on top, you can put cheese on top, like shredded broad cheddar, and it tastes fantastic. You can eat as much as you want. And then you'll realize that, okay, I feel more satiated, I don't need to eat as much, right? Because you don't have all the hyperpalatable chemicals that you're basically addicted to, right? And then you start eating that, and then that's when you start kind of reducing the intake of carbs and start subjecting yourself more to protein and healthy fats to kind of like prompt the body to tap into different substrate of energy. Is you and Luke Belmar brothers? I don't know. I've heard a thing or two about those two guys. They seem suspicious. I don't think they speak Spanish. Best copper bottle? I don't know. I think just any copper is good. I wouldn't like overthink it. What's your opinion on psilocybin mushrooms, brother? Like, have you ever tried them? If so, what was like it? I did a podcast with Dr. John Lawrence. It's an hour long on YouTube. You can go check that out. I talk about that on the podcast. And it's actually pretty good. Best foods for inflammation. I think one of the best things people can do for inflammation is just realize what food is causing the inflammation and stop eating it, right? And then substitute it for something else. And then realizing that there's certain compounds like ginger, turmeric, right, that you can tap into that will reduce inflammation. So what was I doing? I had my shredder gourd and I was shredding ginger, I was shredding turmeric, and I was putting it, right, inside the gourd and drinking out of it. Fantastic. Thyme, rosemary, cloves, hawthorn berries, nettle leaf, horsetail for the silica, nettle leaf, and it's just like fastest state, drinking. You start putting mate with GLP-1 or Guayusa, and then you get rid of, you're not hungry anymore. You're just like drinking all day. It's honestly epic in my opinion, because it's kind of like you can actually get work done, and it's not like, oh, I have to go eat. Oh, I have to go eat. Oh, meal prep. Chicken and rice. Plastic, microwave. Zap. Convenience, fast. What's your energy on energy drinks like Monster? I wouldn't drink it, or Red Bull. I used to drink them in the past, but not anymore. I wouldn't drink it. And that was one of the things I was actually super addicted to, because I had adrenal fatigue, I was tired all the time, I had brain fog, and a lot of it had nothing to do with the stimulants, right? Like, you're going to get to a point where you're going to become desensitized to it. Like, taking a scoop of pre-workout, like, it's not going to be the same. And that's why you have people that drink 1 cup of coffee, 2 cups of coffee, and then it turns into 7, 8, 9 a day, right? Or multiple espresso shots. And I've done that. I've been there, and it's not good long term. So you kind of have to like mitigate that and realize that adrenal fatigue, brain fog, all that's not going to be solved with caffeine. You have to solve other intrinsic problems, right? Caffeine's just a little patch that you're putting on the big wound and the big cut, which is this deficiency in energy. Tap into red light therapy, tap into sun, start grounding, start doing the shredder gourd with different herbs, right? And then here and there you can do an energy drink here, an energy, or like a scoop of caffeine, coffee, that's fine. The thing is like to take time off and cycle it. How do you get rid of brain fog? So one of the things that I think I was doing really bad. It was probably also my environment. It was probably the mold, probably the AC, not cleaning the AC unit. The food I ate, tap water, drinking it, bathing in it, drinking out of styrofoam cups, which are super toxic and poisonous, and then putting terrible coffee. I was putting crappy coffee, right? Tons of mold in it. And that's what was causing brain fog. Like, I would read a book, read like 3 paragraphs, and I didn't remember anything I was reading. Right? It's like you listen, you read a motivational book, and then you don't remember any of the motivation. You're like, what? I'm wasting time here, dude. What the heck? A lot of it has to do with that. So if you start clearing up the brain, you start getting rid of the brain fog, you can actually focus. You're like, okay, if I'm going to actually listen to information or read information, I can actually remember a little bit more. What's the best coffee? I honestly get, right now in the local area where I live, I met a guy who roasts his own bean, so it's local and it's organic. So I just buy from him. Same with the meat. Local farm. Different glasses for drinking. Yeah, I think you should cook in different vessels. Like, only cooking cast iron I don't think is ideal. I think you should do cast iron, stainless steel, copper, ceramic, like switch it up, in my opinion. Same with what you drink out of. Sometimes I'll drink my gourd out of stainless steel, sometimes I'll drink out of copper. Sometimes I'll eat out of wooden vessels, so it just really depends. But I try to avoid plastic, especially plastic with heat, right? Because people get the throwaway discardable plates, all this stuff, and then they put hot food on top, right? And then they're eating. And I'm not saying it's bad one time, like you can get away with it. I don't, like, zapping your food in the microwave one time is fine. The thing is, like, doing it on a daily basis. That's just my opinion, and I've done it. Like, I've literally done it in the past for many years. And then I changed. Bro, please answer. What do I do if I sleep 8 hours and still feel tired from in the morning? You have a lot of problems you need to solve, man. There can be so many things. All the things I've talked about in the live, every single thing could hinder your sleep. I'll tell you something though. When you become like less dependent on carbohydrates, you can go 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep, and you feel fine. You'll throw all-nighters and you'll feel fine. The problem is, most people eat a lot of carbohydrates, train really hard, plus live a terrible lifestyle, so the body needs to heal up. And then before they go to sleep, they stuff their food, right? So the body's not really resting, it's just kind of like working. So ideally, like, try to not eat a couple hours before you go to sleep. Do some digestive teas. How to get off of carbohydrates safely? I already answered that with the chips, moving to homemade chips and then reducing the intake. So substitution, reduction. Natural teeth whitener, coconut pooling, charcoal. Blue light killing me? Yeah, blue light's not good for you. Especially the gamers. They're always like, they don't blink. They're getting wrecked by blue light. So we gotta do things differently. Oof. I'm gonna tell you guys, the pictures you saw, I definitely got even fatter. And when you walked on the street shirtless, nothing happened. People just looked at you like, oh, another blob. But it wasn't even about that, because like deep down inside you're like, oh, I can get shredded. It was more like, oh, I just felt terrible. I just felt like soft, mushy, achy, stiff. Yeah. But now you take, now when you get shredded and you walk down the streets in Malaysia, they're like, haram! Haram! And they're probably going to go watch porn at night after, right? So the ironies. The dichotomies of life. Guys, underrated right now, in my opinion, is spine health. I would say spine health, foot health, and hip flexors. And maybe shoulders. Was that a nipple slip, bro? We gotta censor him now. That just not happen. Because the issues I identified as a woman before I went live. So I apologize about the sexual harassment. Do you guys understand now, like with the whole identification thing, like people can do whatever they want as they please. So, if a gay man has a crush on a straight man, but the straight man doesn't identify as a man, well, is the gay man really gay? Do you understand how ludicrous that is? Like, everybody can shift to what they want to be whenever they want. The distortion. Bro, what? That's what I'm trying to convey. People can identify as whatever they want, and then the rhetoric changes. So if a gay man has a crush on a straight man, right? But the straight man identifies as a woman. The gay man technically is no longer gay because that other man really identified as a woman. Bro, it's so crazy. There's so many levels to this. No, what I'm trying to say is so ludicrous, guys, because people are identifying as whatever they want. So it kind of like changes the whole premise of everything. It's just so funny, dude. It's just so funny. But some things aren't funny. You just have to make comedy out of it just to lighten up the situation. Why are your eyebrows so dense, bro? Because I'm healthy, bro. Because I'm an anime character, bro. Because I identify as an anime character, bro. Got him. Thoughts on petroleum jelly? I haven't used it. I would need to do more research before giving my take on that. What are your thoughts on mushrooms? It depends. There's tons of mushrooms. What's the best way to start stretching? Dynamic stretching, mobility stretching, and just movement often. So what I'm doing right now, I have a standing desk when I work, on calls or whatever, or even standing. Just take a few breaks and do some movement. That's what really helps. What are your pronouns, bro? I identify as being unidentifiable. Best teas for mental energy? I think all the ones I covered in the beginning of the live are good. Mate, green tea, black tea. Black tea also really good for skin. You can put it topically, spray. Yeah. How old am I? I really don't know. I identify as having no age. What kind of mate do you recommend? I recommend organic mate, ideally non-smoked. Smoked sometimes, but the thing you really want to avoid is the stuff with all the dust, right, and all the fillers. That's what really poisons people. And in Argentina, a lot of people are having health issues because of all the fillers in the mate bags. So I would be careful with that. You guys should buy yourself a stick. Start stretching with a stick. Can you reverse white hair, please? I want to know. I think you can. I've heard so. I've heard some biohackers talk about a lot of things concerning that. You can probably look it up. Do some research. Does polyester reduce testosterone? I think just having nanoplastics in your testicles, just there's something about that train of thought that sounds synthetic. So I kind of want to avoid it. Teenage hormone balance tips? Yes. Many. Avoid what 90% of the people are doing. Music in the background? I have music playing in the background. It's some Celtic music. I like it. You know, nowadays, I don't know if people have appreciation for this kind of music. It's more like pop this butt, slap this thing, twerk this, twerk that. And then all the and all the editing of the voice. They all sound like they're just deep throat DJ. That's what they call them. What do you guys think about Diddy? The only thing I'm going to say about that situation is, instead of baby oil, they should have used coconut oil. It would have been a lot healthier. Do I believe in God? Yes, I do. Does Muon really work? I believe so. What's your advice on stopping stress and teeth gnashing? Teeth gnashing? Alright, so if you don't want to be gnashing your teeth, right? I think at night, ideally getting yourself in more of a parasympathetic state is a good idea. Maybe if you mouth tape, that could potentially avoid the grinding of the teeth. Now, it might be something that you just automatically do when you're in a stress situation, so it's more of a being mindful, right? Like you being mindful of what you're doing. I just think if you actually mew, you probably wouldn't be grinding your teeth because you'd be sticking the tongue at the top of the palate. Maybe pressing on top of it or doing... So you kind of probably like switch it up to avoid the grinding and start mewing. Do you even mew, bro? Do you believe in acupuncture? Yeah, I do self-acupuncture. Not with needles, but with like my thumbs and fingers. It's like acupressure, but I think acupuncture is good. Great, I just don't do that like with the needles to myself. That'd be crazy. That would actually be kind of like if somebody did that to themselves, that would be pretty cool. How long to grow your hair upside down? Does it actually work? Well, the whole thing of being upside down is you're basically stimulating blood flow to the scalp, right? And if you do something like it's very simple. Just grab your fingers, you scratch your scalp, and if you feel like tightness or whatever, there's like it's super tight. It has to be elastic, right? Just like your skin's elastic, the scalp as well. So if you start like massaging the head and it kind of hurts or feels stiff, that's also lack of blood flow. Yo, gym bros, check this out. Homie hasn't trained. What a troll. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to troll, guys. Alright. What's your favorite movie of all time? I don't have one. But I can tell you good movies that I think are really good. People should watch. Gladiator, fantastic movie. All Lord of the Rings, fantastic movies. Braveheart, fantastic movie. Thoughts on Lion's Mane? Good. I like Lion's Mane a lot. Way to stop smoking is to stop. You can stop smoking with also essential oil sticks that you can inhale and you're just breathing air. I bought a couple and then I lost them, so I just need to reorder some more. But that helps as well. Strong jawline tips? I got one. Don't do this. Do that for a couple hours or a couple of years and see what's up. What's your favorite clothing brand for business? I don't really dress for business, to be honest. I buy some of my stuff from Japan online. Fortunately, I don't have to show up in suit and tie in the morning. Sir, yes, sir. Check DM, Nate. I need help. Dude, unfortunately, I can't check my DMs. They're actually kind of crazy right now. Facial skin tips. I actually dropped a YouTube video recently, like on repurposing coffee and other ingredients to do like a dry rub or an oil rub to get rid of dead skin, right? I think I posted that on YouTube. If not, it's going to be posted soon. But yeah, you can look at that. How to strengthen your neck. Exercising, stretching. Tips for baggy eyes. Avoid blue light. Hydrate them. How much can you bench, bro? 2 pounds. Thoughts on psilocybin? I did a podcast with Dr. John Laurent, so you can go check that out. We talk about psilocybin, the benefits, the risks, etc. In my opinion on it. How to boost collagen on the face? That's a great question. I'm not going to get into it though. How do you manifest? By not manifesting. I think manifesting is kind of botted. Manifest, bro. Manifest. Gotta manifest. Manifest, bro. Just gotta do it enough, bro. Yeah, you're not doing it enough, bro. You don't have, you're a man of little faith. Oh, ye of little faith. You can't manifest. I can tell you what I do. If I decided I'm overweight, I can get shredded. I don't need to manifest. I can take action. I can think outside the box. Bro's on trolling mode? Yeah, I just take everything, like, it's just funny, dude. To me, it's just everything's comedy. How to get rid of dandruff? I think peppermint oil is fantastic to get rid of dandruff. So you can do like a spring water bottle, add a few drops of tea tree oil, add a few drops of peppermint oil, spray that in your scalp, but don't only spray on the tips. Like you have to like spray, move your hair, spray, move your hair, spray, and then you kind of just rub it in. I feel like that'll help with dandruff. And also getting rid of all the conventional shampoos, conventional conditioners, and putting a shower filter. And with that stack, you'll look a lot better. How to strengthen your bones? Light exposure. And then also exercises like hardening with pressure. And then also essential minerals that you need for better absorption of other minerals like silica. Do you even take silica, bro? Will this live stream be uploaded? Yeah, I'm only planning on like uploading the live stream for a couple days maybe, and then just deleting them. Because I just don't want them out. Sometimes I say things that I don't really want them to be online for a long period of time. All right. What are your thoughts on Trump being elected? I have my thoughts on it, but I'm not going to talk about it on social media. Where's Luke? I think he's in Japan right now. What's the best salt? I just tried different salts. Thoughts on astral projection? I think people are tampering with something they don't know about, or people that do know about it, they use it lightly and preach about it like, oh, everybody can do it, but then they don't take into consideration many spiritual aspects, like facts of the spiritual silver cording being cut, right, when one is out of his body. Like, those are all plausible opportunities that could occur that could kill somebody. Not only that, if you like basically leave your body and you leave an empty vessel, if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you don't know what kind of entity could enter as a plausible option because you decided to leave, right? And then we start getting, and people start understanding how to tap into this. Well, that just opens the door to not only different perspectives and different paradigms being shifted, but you're also actually dealing with different energies and different entities. So you have to be careful, in my opinion. Oof. Why are you so obsessed with Japan? I'm not obsessed with Japan. I think Japanese culture is fantastic, though. I like a lot of cultures. But I like the clothing. I like how it feels. I think it's good. I studied Japanese when I was a little bit younger. Definitely got into anime when I was young, and then visited Japan. Always thought it was cool. Great country. Oof. Boom. Boom. Your hair is kind of messy right now. Yeah, I really don't care. Like, people don't understand. Like, my hair can look great, and I'm fine with it. My hair can look bad, and I'm fine with it. I really don't. Like, it doesn't really matter. As long as it's not, like, looking terrible. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Your thoughts on Greek mythology? I love it. All right, so Greek mythology. So I believe we definitely go back way more into history in terms of ancient civilizations and humanity, right? So I think a lot of the Greeks, even based on ancient scripts from the Egyptians, they said that they were children in terms of the information they knew, in terms of the histories of old, right? So I think a lot of Greeks, a lot of the folklore, a lot of the mythology, it wasn't just like it didn't come out of your ass, right? There's inspiration behind it based on other events. That's my thought on it based on my research. Now, very interesting. Very interesting. A lot of things are very interesting, how they're correlating. But you guys should look into. No, I'm not gonna say it. Can you speak Japanese, Nate? A little bit, not too much. Like, maybe I could get around with it. But the cool thing about Japan is you can get around with English. How do you nurture the fire? You kindle the fire with wind. And the wind is the ether in the void. Something that cannot be seen but felt. And that's what I think about kindling the fire. Hey Nate, what do you think about creatine? I think creatine is fantastic. I like creatine, I take creatine, and I stack it with HMB. Acid reflux. So, acid reflux, we can address a few things. A few things you don't want to do when you have acid reflux, right? Simple tips, right? Mindless eating. If you're mindlessly eating food and you have acid reflux, it's only going to potentiate it. Second, combining tons of food, right? Like carbs, meat while you're drinking. Boom, boom, boom. Third, being super stressed before you eat food. Fourth, you're being mindless when you're eating your food. You're not actually chewing properly. You're swallowing. You're basically deep throating your food, right? I see people taking 2 bites and swallowing their food, and then they're on their phone, or then they're watching TV, right? All these things are simple things that you can definitely avoid acid reflux. So a lot of things I would do is also avoid certain types of food. Eat food, drink some teas, and go for a walk, and that should solve a lot of the issues. But a lot of it is just normal, like, simple stuff. Hey Nate, what's the best thing you can put in water after waking up? I'll tell you what I'm doing right now, because I'm in the mountains and it's cold. I'm doing warm water, splash of lemon or lime, cayenne powder, a little splash of that. I do sometimes a shot of apple cider vinegar, not always. I do, for phosphorus, I do cream of tartar, just a little splash. And then I'll do either ginger powder or like fresh grated ginger. And I'll do that in hot water and I'll drink that. And then I'll do like a black espresso. I need to see, I think my battery's about to die. I need to connect. But guys, in my opinion, we just have to start thinking outside the box. Because people are only getting fatter, dumber, unhealthier. And a lot of things, it's like, it's not people's fault, but it's kind of like what we ended ourselves up with after opening Pandora's box. How do you maintain your eye area? I usually wash it, hydrate it, make sure it's like even tone with like the cheeks and the forehead. Because the problem is, most like, let's say for example, women, they'll put a lot of like makeup around their face and then it's different, and then that's why they have different tones, and then they'll leave the neck off, right? The problem is not only the hindrance of the tone color, it's the actual chemicals that they're putting on the skin for long periods of time, right? And the skin's all dry, absorbing all this crap, then caking it with the sun, burning it, and then they go home, they rinse it off, and then they go to sleep. when they should be hydrating their face, putting moisturizer. Like, your face looks dry and wrinkly because you don't have anything to hydrate it with. You're basically putting just powder and garbage on your skin, right? So I feel like when you do that, then you can start seeing imbalances over time as you wash off all the stuff from the face, all the makeup. And I know there's like healthier variations supposedly out there. For most women, in my opinion, you should avoid as much as possible. Start like learning how to exfoliate your face, witch hazel to clean it. Ideally, no alcohol. And just start hydrating your face, getting natural exposure to the sun, learning how not to burn yourself when you're exposed to the sun. I think all these things play a pivotal role, because then you can put makeup here and there. The issue's every day. People are working 9 to 5, so they wake up an hour before everybody else, and then they put all this stuff on, and they go, and it's like 8 hours where they're wearing this cake, 9 hours, 10 hours, and they go back home, then they wash up, and then they put more cake to go out at night and party with the girls, right? And then they go back home, they wash it off, and then they leave their face dry at night, no hydration, and that's why the skin looks terrible. I'm gonna turn off the light. Where is it? 1 second. There we go. Opinion on men's suicide rate. I think suicide rate is going up for men and women. A lot of it has to do also with modern society, because it's definitely gone up a lot. Any tips on not sleeping all day? Exercise, get some sun, circadian rhythm, sunrise, sunset, go do some sprints, go work out, reduce exposure to blue light, nerf the blue light exposure as the sun goes down, so you kind of like dimming the blue light around you that's artificial in an artificial way. So you're kind of going in sync with the sun. Because the sun goes down in hours where you're just blasted with blue light. You go to sleep and you're doom scrolling with blue light. Of course you're up all night and you don't sleep well. And then you have the phone charger next to your head with the phone just frying your brain. And then you wake up and your oatmeal and your protein, you think you're going to work out and be jacked. Which hair products do you use, Nate? I have a lot of stuff I do with my hair. I switch it up all the time. I'll try to straighten it out. I'll then like curl it. I'll do a lot of things. Healthy, unhealthy things. Leave it super terrible. Shave it one day. Might go Saitama. I actually haven't shaved my sides. I was like trying something out, but I think I might shave them. Should I shave my sides? I might just do like crazy an anime look right here on live. This is like, I really don't care about my hair. As long as it's healthy, it's kind of like it can do whatever it wants. Oh. Yeah. Donate your hair? No chance. No chance I'm donating my hair. There's many reasons why. Yo, how are you? I'm doing good, bro. How do you deal with loose skin when cutting? Well, there's certain points, right? Like, you can have a lot of extra loose skin and being able to tone that and get rid of it. But it gets to a point where if you are way overweight and you can I think if you got your body to that state and you have that as a aftermath of getting shredded and you have the budget to do it, you could do it. Why not? How do you have crazy beard genetics and still don't grow it out? I grow it out. I just grow it out and shave it sometimes. But it's not genetics. I also take care of my beard, like to grow it. So you got a butt chin, bro. Yaru. Alright, I'm gonna actually play some synthwave. Synthwave and Fire Round answer some questions, and I'm gonna bounce. Oh, I like this one. Let's do this. All right. All right. Screw it. Thoughts on sun gazing? Fantastic. I do. I don't have the eye drops with me. I'm actually right now. My stack is sun gazing, sunsets with methylene blue, colloidal silver, colloidal gold in my eyeballs. Yes, that's my current stack. I also urinate blue on occasions. Bro, how do I gain weight? It's a dilemma, isn't it? It's a dilemma. Best superfood to take daily? I really cycle my superfoods, to be honest. Depending on the season. Do you have a health guide? No, but I have a dojo. You can go check it out, bro. Can you repeat? Methylene blue. What for? You can also go watch the podcast on my YouTube channel with Dr. Jean Laurence. We get into the benefits of methylene blue. Best skin products? I cycle my skin products, but all natural. Which superfoods do you take? I literally said it, just cycle my superfoods. So whatever the superfoods are trending out there on social media, add a few more that you don't know about, and I cycle those. What are the secret to jaw-genic mewing? Mewing, facial exercises, facial yoga, all that stuff works. Also, poor posture, sleeping with your mouth open, feeling super stressed out, having senpaku eyes, right? That's the thing as well. A face will tell you a lot of a person, right? Some of these questions are repetitive, so I'm not going to repeat them, because I've already answered them at the beginning of the live. Nate, can you read the question sent later? Yeah, I totally didn't see the question. What is this pendant? EMF pendant. Vaccine detox, charcoal, bamboo, methylene blue, ozone therapy, a lot of sauna detox, a lot of fasting. Sleep improvement tips or drink. All right. Opinions on day trading crypto? I mean, it's up to you. I don't day trade crypto. Bro, where am I currently at right now? I'm in the mountain. Do you use hair color? No, I dye my hair naturally. What do you think about turmeric? Fantastic. I love turmeric. How to get glass skin? That's long. Thoughts on smoking cigarettes? I would avoid smoking cigarettes. I think smoking occasional organic tobacco from a pipe is fine, but you can get nicotine from nicotine pouches, nicotine gum, nicotine tinctures, nicotine toothpicks, a lot of things you can get nicotine from. Thoughts on lucid dreaming? I don't do it, just based on other portals and stuff that can occur when lucid dreaming. I know a guy, he said he started like doing the whole lucid dreaming thing. He said he had a couple entities show up at night, like once he got pretty good at it. So it's up to each, like what you want to do with it. I think it really depends. I think all of it is just like tools you can tap into, and depending on the person, depending on the bloodline, depending on hereditary curses, like a lot of things, even areas, like if you're in a thin area, all these things can play crucial factors when one's experimenting with substances. So it's kind of like a la carte, right? Like shit, you don't know what you're getting sometimes. So you have to be careful. Have you ever tried upside down hanging? Yeah, a lot. I think it's great for you. Where can I find this necklace? You can go to Anime Shreds. Check it out. I posted the link on Anime Shreds. What about asthma? Great tips for asthma. I would do breathalyzers. I would do colloidal silver. I would start working on enhancing my training in terms of breathing. Also, I would start taking things like mullein tincture, mullein tea. The idea here is to basically cleanse the lungs as much as possible. That would be my suggestion. And also realize, hey, if you have asthma, right? The good news is you don't have to do cardio now, right? Long periods of cardio to get shredded. Like, you can get shredded without having to do a lot of cardio. And that's a great benefit in my opinion. And in this shredding journey myself, I didn't train that much. And you guys saw the results. It's pretty decent. Or at all, basically, training. Where's Luke? I think I already answered that at the beginning of the live. Who else bought the spark ups in the tree? What? Brother, can I increase my testosterone as a teenager? 14? Yes, you can. What do you think about collagen? Type of it, and should we buy? I think collagen is fantastic. I've cycled collagen. I think I was introduced to collagen and the benefits about 4 years ago. And I started noticing massive differences when I was taking it. And then I went off of it and I noticed massive differences, and then I'm back on it and I noticed massive differences. Not only so much in the skin, right? It's also the cartilage, like the knees, the elbows, the shoulders, the ankles. I think I really like the concept of like for like theory. So if it's kind of like, oh, okay, eat kidney for your kidneys. If you're gonna, if you need tendons, well, you need to realize what is it made up of? And when you realize that collagen plays a crucial role, then you're like, okay, I need to start supplementing collagen. Now, what you can do is rich diet heavy in collagen, like tons of bone broths, ramens that you can make at home that are healthy in collagen, right? And then once in a while, you can add a few scoops of collagen or do like liquid collagen. And I feel like once you start doing that, and collagen, in my opinion, for me to notice a difference is kind of like 3 months. It was like 2-3 months of fasting, eating healthy, taking collagen, and I was like getting into ranges of motion where I could like squat down, my knees weren't popping, they weren't hurting or like as tight, right? It just felt better. And also my ankles. Tips on eyebrows: pluck or shave the middle. Don't have a unibrow. How to minimize the side effects from the sun. What kind of side effects are you talking about? Because in my opinion, the sun's good. How can I increase my testosterone? I want to wake up with a bone. Bro, if you're a kid and you're 14 and you don't wake up with... Yeah. A lot of it maybe doesn't have to do with testosterone. Maybe it's desensitizing, right? Like the desensitizing of the brain through high levels of dopamine, not only through blue light and like blue stimulus, but also what are the things you're watching, right? Like if you're watching high levels of pornography, that's high levels of dopamine. Blue light, like all these things play a crucial factor that could get into why you're feeling tired, right? I know a lot of guys blame a lot of things on testosterone when it's a lot of other bad habits, but that's why they're not getting quote unquote erected. Yeah, there you go. Well, guys, you also have to realize I'm ESL, English, second language. So please have mercy on my English, guys. I'm working here. Yeah, bro. Really straight up. Thoughts on eating coffee beans instead of brewing coffee? I think I like eating coffee beans. I think eating coffee beans is a great way to reduce, if you're drinking a lot of coffee. So instead of having like 5 cups of coffee, do 1 or 2 cups of coffee and then eat coffee beans throughout the day. So what I was doing a stack when I was like launching Anime Shreds, which was bromotain. I did it sublingually, and then I did nicotine pouch on the upper lips or nicotine gum, and then I did chewed coffee and I just put it under my... And I was just buzzing, and yeah. Are you gonna collab with Rizzler to teach people how to mute? I don't even know who Rizzler is, bro. You win. You got my attention by keeping me on a... Yeah, you're close friends. You can leave if you want, but I have officially invited you. Sensei, what anime would you recommend when I'm locked up but have some free time just to motivate and learn? So, I think there's fantastic animes. I think there's one anime, the first season, is called The Promised Neverland. It's about these children. I'm not going to spoil it because it's a great anime, but I feel like there's a huge correlation between that anime, season 1, at a macro level where we're all kind of at. I'll just keep it at that. Another good anime. It's a short anime that's good. I think Sword Art Online. The first season is fantastic. I think people should check that one out as well. That one's pretty good. Death Note is also pretty good. Some of the newer animes I've watched, I mean, some of them are just bad. Like, it's not even bad like in terms of, I'm saying bad like it's bad quality. I'm bad just because of the bad information they're propagating. That's what I mean by bad. I think Vinland Saga is pretty good. These are all longer. I'm going to say a shorter one. I think Psycho-Pass. Psycho-Pass is something everybody should watch, because I feel like society is going to go in that way real quick. Samurai Champloo, fantastic. Cowboy Bebop, fantastic. Hunter x Hunter, it's a little bit longer, but I love that show. Fairy Tail, pretty good, but longer. I mean, most of the Shonen Jump shows are pretty good. They're just really, really long. So you kind of have to go for the shorter options. Hell's Paradise, that one's pretty ironic, like the whole story, because I feel like they're kind of playing a pun. I'm going to keep it at that. In my opinion, anime, Hollywood, all that is just mass propaganda machines, right? And I feel like there's great content, this and that, but you have to also be selective and careful of like what you watch, because there's a lot of crazy stuff out there. Jeez. How to get rid of moles when they form on the body. There's a few tactics. You can do some of the moles. You can try. I'm going to put them in anime shreds. I'm not going to post it here. But what you can do, always you can remove skin tags. Laser, cold, you can go dermatologist and they can do it. Thoughts on black seeds? Fantastic. I love black seed. Black seed oil. I actually haven't done black seeds in a while, so thanks for the reminder. But for pre-workouts, that was good. If I wanted, I would do raw honey and black seeds, and I would just chew on that, swallow it with raw milk, boom, workout. Or black seed oil, which is really good and something you guys can try if you bought the wild pressed oregano. Wild pressed oregano is actually really like harsh, right? It's really strong, really potent because it's antimicrobial. It's fantastic. It cleanses the body. So when you put it in the water, it like burns. So what you want to do is maybe you can grab some black seed oil, maybe mix some wheat germ oil, and put a few drops of the wild pressed oregano, and I'll put that in like a big wooden spoon. I'll swallow that, and all the oils mixed together kind of creates a new flavor that's kind of neutral. So those are the things you can kind of like play around with, so you don't have to deal with some of the bitter notes from certain foods or herbs and stuff. Castor oil, fantastic. It's probably one of the best oils in terms of permeating the skin. Best oils for joint. I tore your ACL. If you tore your ACL, what I would be looking at would be the following. Last thing you want to do is avoid not moving it, right? Like even if you go through a little pain, you want to still move it, in my opinion. High levels of heat, high levels of cold. I'm talking about hours of cold. Like you're wrapping, the people do the face mask or like the cold patches, you can wrap that around your foot, right? Keep hours and hours cold, 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 hot, cold, hot, cold. I would do arnica cream. I would do sage. I would rub that into the skin, and I would do high levels of collagen. I would do pulse electromagnetic frequencies, and maybe even some like hemp CBD compound cream that you can actually really like sink into the skin, and you can maybe mix it with a little like aloe oil to really permeate through all the layers of the skin, or castor oil. How do you manage to get so much knowledge about health? Dude, at the end of the day, people don't want to study. Like, that's what I realized. I'm like, if I just study and learn and spend hours, then it just goes compounding. But the worst part is, like, when you go down a rabbit trail and you're like, oh, you're learning all information, you don't take it with a grain of salt, and then you realize that you went down the wrong, it was like, it had nothing to do. Yeah. I kind of try to look at biohacking like a sandbox in a way. Like, try different things and see what works. And sometimes the results are visible. So if the results are visible, can they be replicated? I think so. Opinion on keto diet, I think it's good for resetting your body. I don't think it's fantastic long periods of time over many years. Where do you mainly get your information from? Books, PDFs, podcasts, blogs, articles. However the medium of information is presented, usually visual, auditory, nothing too crazy. There is a lot of the older books that you want to read into. So one book everybody should read, in my opinion, The Body Electric. If you read this book, you'll get a pretty decent idea of what's going on. Could it be? Could it be? The question is, like, there's 350 pages. Yeah, bro, how do you get the knowledge, bro? How do you get the knowledge, bro? Have you heard of reading, bro? It's pretty good, bro. I would read this book. It's a good book. And if you don't know how to read and retain information, that's a different question. That's what I would be addressing first. That's a whole different topic. And that's why health plays a huge role, right? Like, being able to remember information, being able to process information, being able to realize rationally, holistically, that everything has been compromised. Do you not understand, bro? The fact that people look super shredded years ago and they didn't work out and they look fantastic, or the fact that there's native people that look like way in better shape than all these gym bros, right? And they don't train. It's the lifestyle, it's what they do that leads to that body composition. Now, if you add training and hypertrophy to that, you're talking about a whole different ballgame, right? But what I'm trying to convey is, like, we've lost touch with our humanity and people don't even realize it. Bro. Bro's related to Conan the Bear? No, not at all. Not at all. Where do you get your nicotine? I get my nicotine right now from Lucy Gum. Or Lucy, the company. Does semen retention work? Yes, it works. How do you retain information? By not being dumb, right? And not being dumb, I'm not talking about IQ. Like, IQ means nothing. IQ is just one perspective and one facet of train of thought. Because then you have the other train of thought of creativity, which is its own category in itself, which in creativity can also lead to madness in a certain way. And then madness can be correlative, or it can be perceived different by different people. Like, you could look at a man who's super sauced up in terms of information, but is homeless. And he's riffing, giving you all these things, but in your mind, he's crazy. That was your perspective of the madman. Now let's say the same madman was all chatted up, millionaire, billionaire, blah, blah, blah. Oh, he would be eccentric. Do you understand the dichotomy? Do you understand the dichotomy? How was life in Argentina? It was definitely different. Definitely different. Definitely different. Very, very different. How to reduce sight naturally? Are you saying that your sight is getting nerfed? Because if that's the case, you want to avoid a lot of things. And I'm going to finish with this train of thought, and also an encouragement thought, and then I'm going to bounce. You're never going to reduce or increase your eyesight by the reduction of something. So people always nerfing. It's like prescription. higher prescription on the lenses, higher prescription on the lenses, higher prescription on the lenses. And then the person's always staring at a flat object that's blue, doesn't move their eyes, like doesn't do exercise, doesn't live in an outdoor environment. Their eye is becoming weak, right? And over time, you start aiding it with the increasing levels of putting lenses on because I can't see well, bro. When there's things like you can do washes for the eyes, you can start, for example, what I'm doing right now for methylene blue and everything for my eyesight's getting a lot better. Hitting it with red light therapy, Shashandra berries. There's a lot of things that you can do to strengthen your eyes, and then you can also lighten in terms of like the tone of your eye looking lighter because you're just healthier, right? And I want to finish with this. It's not genetics, bro. It's the environment, bro. As you can see from the IG post, bro. All right. That was a pretty good riff. I'll catch you guys soon. Stay safe. Start wearing shower filters. Peace and grace.